What's up, everybody, and welcome to Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber, a movie review podcast. My name is Alex. Now, to our regular listeners, I've made a personal decision to retire Basil. He's the usual host who introduces our episodes, and that's because I'll be using him and his robust voice for another project, hopefully coming up soon, in the tabletop and RPG category. So I'm very excited about that. But for our new listeners, welcome. Thanks for clicking on us and giving this podcast with the super long name that doesn't really tell you what we do at all a chance. We're a movie review podcast, and instead of the usual movie critic that gradually loses a little piece of their soul with every movie that they watch, we try to keep things light and funny and positive. So today is actually kind of funny after saying that, because we get into a little debate about the movies we reviewed. First of all, today is a double feature. So we reviewed Maleficent 2 and Zombieland 2, keeping with the Halloween spirit, which I hope to find a party at some point to partake in. But anyway, Nikanti Khan and myself get into a hilarious schoolyard debate about what we would have liked to have seen in Maleficent 2. Other than that, we kept, honestly, we kept it in, because when I listened back, I thought it was hilarious and very entertaining. So I hope you guys like it. And enjoy the episode. Don't forget to leave a comment, whether you're on iTunes or Spotify, wherever it is that you can leave comments. Pretty sure you can't leave comments on Spotify. So on Apple Podcasts. And leave a 5-star rating. We'll make sure to shout you out in the following episodes. Tell us whatever you'd like. Your number rating on the last movie we reviewed. A badass moment. What the fuck moments. And if you don't know what those are, you will after this episode. But enjoy the episode, fam. And I will see you guys next Friday for Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber movie reviews. Peace.
I just watched an amazing Hot Ones. I love Hot Ones. Can that be one of our goals as a podcast, is to get on to Hot Ones?
Oh my God.
We need to make cold ones. And
what does that mean?
It can be like different types of ice cream, and if you can handle a brain freeze.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Now, can actual brain damage occur from like a bad enough of a brain freeze?
There's only one way to find out. We should just do an episode. And then we record their faces as they have brain freezes.
Are you doing like a mustache on me?
No, I'm trying to remember how Paul Rudd did it. He showed it on Hot Ones. He can make it look like you took a photo and in between somebody's legs.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's
a very special technique that
I have that on my watch later list. That Hot Ones with Paul Rudd.
Have you watched the Netflix show yet?
No, me and Patty just watched the
Living with Yourself,
the trailer for it, and we're just like, oh, interesting.
It's really good.
It's really good.
How far did you get?
I'm on the 3rd episode.
I'm like 5 or 6 episodes in.
Guys,
and it just, did I mention I hate myself already?
Oh God.
Because that's what that show really inspires me, is to continue hating myself.
No, it's the opposite.
You need to do the opposite. That's what that's about.
The opposite.
Is it? I'm pretty sure it's about hating yourself enough to go get a goddamn massage parlor, like good ass massage, and then somehow find out that you have a clone.
Well, now I know what Groupon not to get, Junior. Or
I'm
Groupon of a massage.
I'm pretty sure that you make yourself feel better by getting a massage. I give myself a massage every morning, sometimes every evening, sometimes in the morning and in the evening,
but not for November.
Oh
yeah, no massage November is coming up.
Yep.
That's not a real thing.
It's a thing.
I'm
I'm pretty sure that the religious no massage November is actually in March, so it's no massage March or meant.
I'm just gonna do what I want to my body. That's okay.
It's not okay, and we're going to be watching you at all time and monitoring and
You
making sure
can't
that
tell
you're doing
me.
things.
You can't tell me how to treat my temple.
That is scrumptious. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber movie reviews. My name is Alex. That's the voice that you're hearing right now. And the gentleman that I'm staring at right now intently doesn't know I'm staring at him intently.
That's why Myron doesn't say his own name, or Nikansky for that matter, which are both the same person.
Because he never knows I'm staring at him intently.
No, it's because he doesn't want to seem like Usher.
Damn. But just so he can flame you.
Yeah.
He's been waiting for that moment for
Since
75 episodes.
That's right.
Oh no, but long before that. It was when I was born.
I play the long game.
He do.
Get it? Because he plays the long con.
Oh my god.
That pun was set up so many years in advance, Alex didn't even see it coming.
I got slapped in the face with that, dude.
That's what she said.
That was the
I'm sorry. I don't know why I can't stop today.
Don't ruin it. Stop.
I got slapped in the face with that, dude.
Oh god. Oh, you ruined it. Okay. That beautiful pun right there that you just heard was by our boy named Khan, and the guy over here to my left, his name is Nikansi. Nikansi, say Gemini.
Hi guys, Gemini.
Perfect.
Are you a Gemini? I'm a Virgo.
We are 3/4 of the way through October, and we have been watching nonstop beautiful, fantastic movies. Today is going to be a double feature. We're reviewing Maleficent 2 and Zombieland 2. Double tapping.
Are we double tapping double tap?
Yeah, we are. And that's what we be doing.
You know what the worst part about double tap is?
What's that?
They got scared and they went like hextuple tap, pentuple tap.
That is...
but what? I don't remember what the 9 is, but like decatap, dodecatap. Like it just, what's the?
I don't know, but I'm just happy that that knowledge of knowing how to say those things has finally paid off.
Are you being sarcastic?
I'm not.
I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or not because
I can't tell.
he looks like he's trying to pull off the not sarcastic Alex, but it could be a really deep cut and he's trying to throw us for a dodeca flip, and he's like, ha, this whole time I was pretending to be Alex, pretending to be Contavious, pretending to be Felipe, pretending to be Julio, pretending to be Basil, who is another Jojo, pretending to be Giorno, Giovanni, who is another Jojo, but in Italy. That was a really big Jojo reference, and nobody's stopping me.
That's a lot of stuff going on.
So for today's movies, I think we will start it off with Maleficent 2. Why don't you guys give me some fatty impressions real quick?
Was there a character named Fatty?
No. She was the makeup artist.
I got to watch
Fadira.
Maleficent and Maleficent 2 back to back because I never saw the first one, which came out 5 years ago.
How do you feel those stacked up?
I really enjoyed the first one. The second one is better after you watch the first one. Not so much as a standalone. First one is a definite. You can just watch the first one and it ends nicely.
It's perfect.
The second one, it just kind of turned into an action movie, which is totally okay. And it continued the story, but I was like, well, where else can you go with this story?
Yeah, it's kind of tough, man. I think it was... The first movie was a nod to all the people who claim they have Dark Souls guilty and love gothic shit. You know what I mean?
It was such a good switch up.
It was really nice. I really liked the kind of twist at the end. The second one was strictly for kids and their parents.
I don't
think.
really think it was for kids.
I think the end of that movie
Yeah, the end.
agrees or disagrees with you. Well, okay, I take it back. No, you're right.
That's an extremely violent movie.
You're right. If it was rated PG-13, I think we might have gotten something better because, like, man, the disappointing thing about the Black Fangs is that, okay, they lived in isolation. Dark Fae? But didn't they call themselves Black Fangs?
I really don't think that they ever said Dark Fangs or Black Fangs. They were referencing themselves as Dark Fae. Fae as in fairies.
Yeah, Dark Fae.
Damn, I thought they said Black Fangs. Dark Fae makes sense. I thought they were referencing the horns. I was like, okay, that's interesting. But Dark Fae, okay. The Dark Fae lived in isolation for so long, and they never developed some kind of counter measure against iron. That's just it. Now, hey, you know how last time we did the exact thing we're about to do? It should work fine this time.
Your argument there implies the fact that they can even handle iron.
But also, Maleficent
How are they going to develop a countermeasure without being able to handle it?
She didn't.
Wooden armor? Yeah.
No, wooden armor doesn't.
I'm pretty sure iron can pierce through wooden armor.
Yeah.
Not super thick wood. What about that?
Super thick wood?
Yeah.
It's iron. How about I'm gonna give you a wooden shield, and then I'm gonna penetrate you with this iron.
Here's the problem, though. They didn't wear any armor whatsoever.
They covered their boobs. It's only aesthetic armor.
Yeah, so do girls at the beach.
Yeah.
So do all the characters in D&D.
Do you call bikinis armor now?
Yeah.
Is that
which like all anime?
Yeah.
Look at Wonder Woman's armor. Gauntlets and this breastplate.
And you know why she uses the bracers?
Armor.
You know why she uses the bracers to block bullets, even though her armor is even though her entire body is bulletproof? Because you don't it's just fan service to see your boobs jiggle when you're
I see that. I see that. No, but what I'm saying is that
you said wood.
They still
thick wood.
Yeah, wood, thick wood. They're fucking magical creatures. Iron sword, or even that, like even not iron. Here, let's get into some metal. What's the word that I'm talking? Metal specifics, or whatever you want to talk about. When you make steel, what is that a combination of? Is iron in that?
But this was in the olden times.
They had steel. They had mills.
Yeah, but these are forest people.
They were living in isolation. What I'm saying is that I just don't understand this idea or this concept of they just never developed whatsoever. They were the exact same from the ancient times when they first went to war against humans.
Alex has been spoiled with fantasy novels where people are telling you how things are happening.
Well, Native Americans still tried to fight guns with bow and arrows
for the longest time.
But they were eventually they got guns when they were exposed to guns. That was
a tribe. That's the specific.
Eventually, they got taken over.
Yeah.
Because they were not prepared. They didn't get to go live in isolation for hundreds and hundreds of years, safe, where they can develop a countermeasure and re-strategize to fight them again.
Assuming that you have people who want to do this.
But no,
what do you mean?
When you go, how do you defend yourself?
When you go when you go into isolation with nothing, there's nothing you can't work with anything.
So what you're saying is that they had no way of getting supplies. They had no way of stealthily going out and getting some kind of material that they could use to defend themselves from iron.
I think they were just too depressed because in Maleficent, the first one,
they were too depressed.
There's no mention of them. Why is there no mention of them in the first one?
Because they were in hiding.
Yeah, but even
And also, it might have not been an idea at that point. Actually,
yeah, right. But here's the thing: Maleficent should have known about them if they were in hiding and they're running around trying to get supplies.
But the problem is that she's only living in one part of the world, and the other problem is that we don't have any origin, and she doesn't. For all we know, as far as the movies go, we don't have any kind of knowledge of what her origin is. For all we know is that she just ended up in this, magical forest where all the Fae live. So why would she need to know or be able to know about that? They could have just avoided her magical forest.
They don't even give us any backstory of any of the Fae.
That's what I'm saying.
Which is why they're probably making a third one. Prequel. That's how they fix everything.
I know they could. Well, I hope they listen to us.
Another thing that came up was they were talking about the christening, which, what could that be the christening of? And second, this actually ties into, have you seen the Disney theories that it's all connected? It's hilarious. It's weird.
I haven't, but
basically, one of those threads is assuming that Sleeping Beauty happens, right? And eventually they have a daughter or maybe a son, and they go traveling, and that son turns out to be Nazrat. It's Tarzan. Other ones include that they go traveling and they meet another kingdom, and that's where like Frozen takes place. And also Frozen also has part of that theory of the their parents went off adventuring, and she was pregnant at the time, had a son on the seas, and then it becomes Tarzan. Like, there's lots of goofy theories around.
That Tarzan one is interesting because that would mean that they would have to, because there was like steam engines, and there was, how did they get, was it shipwrecked? Is that how? Okay, it wasn't plane wrecked. That was George of the Jungle.
Yeah,
I'm getting that mixed up.
But that's what I mean by like there's like goofy fan theories and stuff that people are like following really, really big breadcrumb trails.
Look, I want to circle back. Are you guys really not upset that the Dark Fae did not come up with some kind of counter strategy against the iron problem?
I am upset.
I am upset.
Okay, you guys just like to argue with me?
Yeah.
Is that,
no, I'm just
okay,
pointing.
I think
kind of funny.
I'm pointing out that your argument of developing something to counteract this. There are different ways to do this in fantasy worlds, and armor to counteract iron is not a very solid one. Is what I was trying to say.
Well, some kind of weapon.
Weapon is theoretical. Magic itself, from what they showed us, magic itself is not a normal thing for the Fae. The closest they have is healing magic, which is basically, from what they showed us in the film, on par with like the concept of chakra and doing hand signals to like imbue something.
Well, they could control like nature.
They could control nature itself.
Wood. They were wood element ninja.
Yeah,
but Dracula never found a cure against wooden staves.
I'm not talking about a cure though. I'm just talking
or armor or Dracula never found anything. Also,
that's his fault.
Where the werewolf man, he never figured out anything to protect himself from silver bullets.
That's why I was saying that
all
like,
of Van Helsing's
there are ways
creatures.
There are ways to like combat it, yes, but I was just saying that like what you initially put up for the podcast to hear us argue about was how do they not figure out a way to protect themselves against iron?
A countermeasure. A countermeasure.
You said now, like armor. Is what you.
I just threw that out there as a preliminary idea, but there are types of compound wood that could potentially, imbued with magic, with the chakra that we were talking about, at least combat the iron swords. I don't know about the iron bullets. That's a pretty hard one. And I don't know how easily they could see that one coming because that was the first time they encountered it. but at least
when it comes to regular
Hand
iron
to hand,
weapons, I will give you that it's weird to know that these technically nomadic tribes didn't figure out a way to get around it other than like, I can fucking fly, I'm outie.
Well, Nikonti put up a really good argument earlier, and he said that they were too depressed.
That's
Yeah.
it's fair.
Yeah.
They were too depressed.
Yeah.
That and
how much do you do when you're depressed?
I
Right. Nothing. I've seen you.
How long? Wow.
You don't even shave.
That was savage.
That was fucking brutal.
We are going for blood now, and I am upset,
hateful.
and I would appreciate an apology.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I haven't seen
really
him. I haven't seen him.
I just said wooden armor. You don't have to make fun of my
unshaved face.
Yeah, like Jesus.
Or the fact that he masturbates.
I'm just saying
to make myself feel better.
Exactly.
Everybody has been there.
I'm just saying depression is dark. I mean, Anne Frank hid in like some wall for it. Oh,
they had hundreds of years and a
she
good
definitely
support
masturbated.
system. She definitely did.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, who's to say what she does with her temple?
That's a call.
I like
That's a callback.
I like that callback. That was good. Damn. We went on this long. I'm probably gonna keep all of that in.
I like how we just got so serious but not serious about some like family flick.
It was
Disney. Let me poke plot holes in this Disney film.
It's a kid's. There should be no plot holes, even though it's a kid movie. No, you know what I was hoping from, because like the first one was so good. I was like, oh shit, like this could be like they can go.
I got it.
Even though it's not PG-13, I was like, oh man, maybe this could be like the next Pirates, especially
Brandon Sanderson has spoiled you.
Man, he has.
He has spoiled you.
He has.
There's no.
Brandon Sanderson is thank you, by the way. He
spoiled
fantastic author. Those of you who love fantasy, go read some Brandon Sanderson books.
High key, Brando Sando should just hit us up, because he can just laugh at us being idiots, because that literary professor has written what is called the 5 Laws of Literary Magic, and it's like, wow. I cannot read fantasy novels without thinking of this and just poking holes in everything now.
Movies like Maleficent 2 aren't quite logical, but it's just a good time.
It's just a kid's movie, and if they added too many countermeasures from if they made it too complicated, you know what I mean? It had to be a one-sided battle because it was a kid's movie. If it wasn't one-sided, then it'd be too complicated, and then it would have to be PG-13.
It would have to be like in a video game, like Warcraft.
But I think that's a little unfair, because they still introduced deep concepts. They still introduced the fact, especially with both movies, and yes, they are family movies. Like, there's no reason for. There's no real good reason that what is considered kid content can't also introduce concepts. And the reason I'm going on about this is because like Adventure Time and Steven Universe and lots of other, I say lots, but like my brain kind of small, but you get like these shows introduce you to the fact that it's okay to feel. It's okay to go through those motions, even though like you're gonna have days. Like Adventure Time talks about the concept of depression.
I think
and fighting through it that way. Steven Universe also is like ideal. I like having your heroes be normal
and transgender.
That too. Rocks. Lesbian rocks.
What I was gonna say is no. I'm not saying that this movie they couldn't introduce deep concepts, because I think they did, but
I think
how deep can you get, right? How deep can you get if you want to wrap up the movie in like a colorful, beautiful ending?
One of those things was straight up just Pimento, the weird hedgehog fairy.
Yeah.
Like That's that's like BB-8. That's like R2D2.
Yeah,
like
it's a cute little guy.
It's a cute guy.
Talks funny.
And then
Maleficent.
at least it's 50 times better than Jar Jar Binks.
I bet you anything they turn this into a franchise and they'll go back and explain more things. Watch. You know who's behind this film?
Who is?
The director of Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Why did it feel? I'm telling you. Oh, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Okay,
Yeah, he was.
I get it.
He directed that one.
I get it.
Which,
because
by the way,
that
in particular,
one,
that was still really good. I still think that was really good. Dead Men Tell No Tales.
is that the one with Elizabeth Swan's kid?
I think so. I got internet here.
That was the last one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. Now I understand.
No, I skipped it.
There was too much happening at once, bro.
And I agree with this film.
That was a 2017 one.
There was a lot of subplots, but nothing to center it.
Mm-mm.
If they would have if they would have just gave the Dark Fae a little bit of an origin story in this 2-hour long movie,
It would have been great. I'm like, here's this really cool creature that we can. I'm totally into it. Give me more of what they are and how they work and blah blah blah. And they're like, nah, we've been hiding for 200 years because iron hurts, but we're gonna revolt. And that's about it.
Sidebar is that this you said this one were both Maleficent movies directed by Dead Men Tell No Tales director or anyway.
I don't know.
Can you Google that?
I could, but like now I'm
Yeah,
talking.
do it.
I'm talking.
You're already
Okay.
on it.
No, it's because he has to turn around. No, I'll Google it, bro. It was by Robert Stromberg. Was that the same?
No, Hakeem Ronning.
Was the second one?
Yeah, so he did do the 2019.
He
So
did
he
both?
only did the second Maleficent 2. Dead Men Tell No Tales in that one.
That makes sense. Yeah, there was. He's scatterbrain.
I wish they would have kept the same director.
The first
'Cause-
director was amazing.
And the person who wrote the script for the first Maleficent did a really good job
I agree.
on making it a strong female movie
Yeah,
about going against toxic masculinity.
yeah, I agree.
But what was nice about the second film, was they flipped it and showed how a female could manipulate a man, being the queen manipulating her husband.
That went over your head, didn't it?
Overcorrection.
Yeah, it was really like some men can have good intentions, but it can be easily manipulated in many ways, such as, oh wait, I stabbed your father.
I do like that they kept to the kind of like the plot twisty thing when it was in the title, Mistress of Evil. You assume it's going to be Maleficent who's the Mistress of Evil. I did appreciate that, and like in the first one, Kiss of the True Love. So I, not to put too many spoilers, but yeah, I really do like that they at least kept to that theme.
I really like Angelina Jolie as Maleficent.
Yeah, she's good. She fits that role really well, kind of like Johnny Depp fits Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, we posted. I shared it off chance, and I think you reshared it onto our Facebook. There's a video of her going through the makeup to get into like Maleficent's role, and it's really badass. It's super cool to like see like the transformation is just iconic. It's like, this is Angelina Jolie. I can see where it goes. I can see, and then just that's Maleficent. That's fucking badass.
She really made that character. She is in character when she's acting. You don't see Angelina Jolie. I've seen some movies with her, and you're like, that's just Angelina Jolie playing
like
this
her.
character. But in this movie, she is Maleficent.
I agree.
I was like, that's some. When I saw the first one, I just saw it the other night. I was like, whoa, she's really acting. She hasn't been in movies in forever. And the last movie I remember her in, she was basically just saying lines.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider?
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we should just, because we've been going for a while, you want to just do some number ratings and move on to Zombieland?
I had a lot of fun watching the second Maleficent. It had some crazy war scenes that I was like, well, this is intense for a Disney film. Like, things are just getting slaughtered.
Yeah.
With no remorse. From the people doing the slaughtering.
Yeah, it was real.
But with the weird plot holes and stuff, I still really enjoyed the film, and I give it a 7 out of 10, especially for the cinematography and they had some beautiful shots.
Y'all watched in 3D, huh?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I checked the reviews for 3D. This film wasn't made for 3D.
Oh, okay.
It was just 3D was added just because some people like to watch it, but it wasn't planned for 3D, so it wasn't worth watching.
Oh, okay.
Which changes how things are entirely going to show up in 3D in general.
We saw it in IMAX.
Oh, okay.
And it was beautiful really cool to see. Yeah, it was really cool to see. Yeah.
Wide camera angles. Alex, you look like you're going to give a bad rating.
You want to...
Yeah,
so I'm just going to give it a 7 out of 10 as well, because ultimately the plot holes aren't going to take away from the movie for most people, in my opinion. And those plot holes in general were just like things that I get particular about, like ammo counting and stuff, But these are actually plot holes. The entire movie was actually just so badass. It actually was way more badass for Elle Fanning's character Aurora.
I like
than
that
I was anticipating.
I like that she had to deal with inner conflict. It is true that all of this bad stuff happened to her, but she calls this person her godmother. But she's not one of the Fays. She's a human. And Michelle Pfeiffer's character, she keeps trying to remind her, look, you're a human.
Yeah.
But the main moral of the story is that at the end of the day, people are just people. Beings are just beings, and you shouldn't discriminate against them.
Yeah, if they're good, they're good. If they're bad, they're bad. That's, you know what I mean?
That was the main moral, and I thought they did a good job at portraying that moral, especially in today's climate.
Yeah. Look, I agree with all of your guys' good points. I really do. I just am... I think that it's a fun movie for kids, and I think that as a parent, it's a great movie to take your kids to, and that they'll enjoy the shit out of it.
Did you not like watching it when you watched it with Patty? Like how were you feeling when you watched it?
I was like... kind of like, I want to see more. I want to see more on certain plot points. I wanted to see more about the Black Fae or Dark Fae.
But like as you were watching it, were you like, wow, okay? No. Or were you just completely just thinking about like the Dark Fae?
I feel I got excited about certain things, but just there was a lot of stuff that I felt was incomplete that I would have liked to see expanded upon. Maybe some of the characters in the movie, for example, the prince's second hand, the general. I thought we lost a great opportunity for maybe a hilarious character or a kind of air out that friendship. I would have loved to see more about that friendship. Aurora, even though she was going through inner turmoil, I don't know, she's kind of irritating. Like,
I was like, how could you forget your mother?
Yeah,
like you call this lady your mother, you should trust what she's trying to tell you.
But at the same time, I get that.
But
all right,
love.
Well, no, there was that huge betrayal the first time when she first found out that she cursed her. She's just like, okay, well, she did that, so
who knows?
There's a possibility that she's this crazy. So I am Gonna give it a 5 out of 10. But the only reason why is because the first one exists. And that is the only reason why it's a 5 out of 10. Because
The first one was just so good.
it was so amazing in comparison, and to follow it up with this and to do a cliche finish in the way that they did, again, which was just a nod to the kids in the movie theater, and the kids enjoyed it. I saw that. But to do that and, you know, just kind of get lazy with your writing at the end, that knocked it down like 2 points for me. So, sorry.
It did add up for you, and for the like kind of flip reason was why I gave it a higher rating, was just because I think that standalone, the first one was beyond outstanding, and the second one is weaker, but is not necessarily losing it.
Yeah, the first one definitely wowed me. I was, but I went into the second film just wanting more Angela Jolie as Maleficent. So
Angelina.
Yeah, so I was definitely happy because I just got more Maleficent.
To be fair,
She's
you
fun to
had the
watch.
least amount of time out of all of us, I think, between watching the first one and the second one.
Yeah, I watched the first one last night.
Like, I've definitely watched the first one twice before, thanks to bleeped out services. And then I rewatched it last night. I was like, yeah, this is a good ass movie.
They could totally just leave the second one like to the side.
Just treat it like Dragon Ball GT. Let's just
only if
Oh
people
no, that's
really,
so rude.
only if people really
that's overly beyond rude.
really
let's just do
like
Dragon Ball Super and do number 3. Like,
It could be. I mean, like, okay, to be like fair and worse, you could have said it like just treat it like Dragon Ball Legacy.
I bet you anything
the game.
No, I meant Legends. The like whatever the not to be mentioned live action movie was.
I bet you anything that there is at least 20 to 30 minutes of footage that the director wanted to keep.
At
But-
least it's an hour and
yeah.
40.
No, it's 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Hour 58.
Yeah, it's 2 hours long.
Did I accidentally click on the second? No, this one says 1 hour 41 1 hour 41 on IMDb.
Yeah, it was probably
So it was-
hour and 58 is probably with the trailers. So, alrighty. There's Maleficent 2, Mistress of Evil. Take your kids to go watch that. It was cool. If you
Take
love,
it on. I think it's actually a pretty good date movie too. If you haven't seen the first movie too,
I agree. I think that's a great date movie, and
very like. I think what our big takeaway is, as we segue into our next one, is that Angelina Jolie was fucking badass. That was
yeah.
like
If you
that's the
liked
thing.
her, if you liked watching her as Maleficent in the first one, that is absolute reason to go watch this one.
Also, in particular, I will shout out to Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh yeah,
Like,
great performance.
fucking, is she just typecasting herself as evil bitches right now? Cause like, fuck, shit, fuck, Michelle Pfeiffer, fuck.
I saw a little bit of that Stardust in there.
You felt that too? Cause I also was like, I love Stardust.
Oh, Stardust is. Hey, talk about a good fantasy movie, like good fairy tale, complete.
That like is
end to
reasonable. It's a reasonable mixture of like of relatability. Like you can imagine that like there's it's not too different from regular world.
Forget about it. Forget about it. That's how good it is. Okay.
Also, Robert De Niro is a gay sky pirate. Like, what's not to love?
And his crew accepts it.
And it's Robert De Niro.
Like,
and it's a gay Robert De Niro. That's the
like
best thing ever. Like, what, director? That's
like
so great.
it was. Go watch Stardust too.
Go
Like-
watch Stardust. God damn it. And someone make another movie that compares to it, because shit.
Also, Brandon Sanderson, again, shout outs to spoiling us.
He fucked us up.
Yeah, we're our
Yeah.
fucking brains are fucked up.
It's like having sex on Molly.
All right, this is my take, okay? Maleficent 2. if you enjoyed Maleficent 1 and you just want to see more Angela Jolie.
Angelina. You keep saying Angela.
Angela. I keep saying Angela.
Yeah.
I don't know why. If you want to see more Angelina Jolie as Maleficent, watch Maleficent 2, but just expect like you know how Disney does their animated sequels straight to video?
Yeah. Like Lion King too.
Yeah, like just expect that.
Not like Lion King 1/2.
No. That was
beautiful.
a masterpiece.
Yeah.
I love that.
But Lion King 2. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Speaking of 2, that you get what I did there? I double tapped.
Double tapped in. We went and watched the wonderful Zombieland 2. And Jesus Christ, it was such a blast.
My brain still can't accept how old the first one is.
Yeah, dude. I was like, what? They're already... Yeah.
They had so many inside jokes. I just rewatched Zombieland 2 days ago.
It's a great movie.
And they had so many inside jokes. This film needs to be watched like back to back.
It's awesome because like, you know, just like The Walking Dead is kind of running into this problem, how much new material can you get out of a zombie movie, right? Or the zombie genre. And what they did with this genre is I think that they made it character rich. And they focused on their quirks and their, you know, just the people that they are as characters.
Yeah, in general, that's what a lot of zombie-related things are now. It's like, we get it. Zombies are freaking hella spooky because, like, how do you stop it? You have to kill them. They're going to eat you alive. They come back from the dead. There's a virus. So many other ways that it goes on. Eventually, like, it's not about the zombies, it's about what you're doing against the zombies. That's why, like, in The Last of Us, which uses spore related theories for how you become a zombie, it's like in that world, right, they have to be really, really careful about just any kind of mushroom and like spook the shit out of
people who use mushrooms, spook the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's happening! No. So it was great. I think that they did a great job. Can I just give a huge shout out to the best character in this movie, and you guys are going to be blown away that it's not one of the originals from the first movie. Her name is Madison. Zoe, I don't know how to say her last name. It looks French. It makes me want to say douche. I don't think that's right.
No, Dutch.
Zoe Dutch as Madison was sheer magic. She stole the show, and it's just a great performance of like a douchey girl.
Valley Girl.
Yeah.
She was freaking hilarious.
She's so funny, man. And it was like a weird... She just did it so artistically and intelligently. Like, she just nailed the shit out of that role, to where like you're like, all right, she's gonna be typecasted for those roles from now on. Nah, man, she just did such a stand-up job.
Do you think she'll get typecasted for the reboot of Legally Blonde and steal it away from Reese Witherspoon?
I hope not.
I hope they don't.
Thus making it a joke of Reese without her spoon.
I hope they don't do a remake of that movie.
They're going to.
You know,
it's real.
You know,
no, but it's
there's all
we're
sorts
out of ideas, and we don't want to.
No, they need to just talk to Brandon Sanderson.
They really do. Damn it, the Cosmere. Okay,
bring it back.
Bring it back. This movie is wonderful. Let's just jump into some badass moments. What do you guys think?
The whole movie.
Okay, great. I think that's a great start.
Let me tell you,
the whole movie.
I got a badass moment for you. Covering Abraham Lincoln's eyes.
We talked about this.
That was a great joke. That was amazing, and also very real. Try to avoid having like any sort of photos or paintings and
portraits
with eyes, and Like that shit follow you.
I'm not into it.
Yeah.
I don't like things with eyes in my room.
Yeah, it's like why do people sometimes have a photo of Jesus Christ? You know, like just covering it up, make it bad.
I don't know.
Apparently so.
It's weird. It's a weird superstition.
A lot of post-apocalyptic TV shows or films always end up in the White House. So when I saw them going to the White House, I was like,
hilarious.
kind of cliche. Okay, what are you gonna do here?
I thought that was the joke though. That's why I was like,
and they pulled it off. They really pulled it off.
Yeah, I think my badass moment was the just the storytelling. We were mentioning what's the name of that concept that you always pull, June?
Chekhov's gun.
Chekhov's gun. They did it in two ways. They did it with storytelling, and then they did it with an actual gun. But I just thought that the screenwriting on this movie was brilliant and fantastic, and whoever wrote it needs to continue writing.
I was never bored with the film.
Same.
I actually wanted more.
Yeah. The concept of the what do they call them? The T-800s?
Yep.
Terminators.
Yeah. That was a great concept.
That was also
cool, and it made me nervous. I was on the edge of my seat when where they had to deal with the first T-800s. I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like,
I thought that was just a fun joke, like that was a well executed joke because like Terminator T-800s are fucking spooky as shit.
Yeah.
Also, the entire thing dealing with Flagstaff was like just an amazing series of scenes.
I love Flagstaff
Because that particular moment of just like, oh, we're both nerds, but we're also both like incredible betas. We're just gonna like agree to disagree and disagree to agree. And
there's no literally people are egging us on to like hate each other. But you know what, sir? Tip it to the hat to you. Tip of the hat to you. No. Tip of the hat to you.
Well, if I could wear the hat, Tallahassee doesn't let me wear the hat. But if I did, I would tip the hat to you.
I think you would look great in that hat.
A solid zombie film will have the audience wondering if the characters that they enjoy will survive.
Yes, you're waiting. You're waiting in suspense for that bite.
And this film, near the end, you're like, "Ah, shit! Are they about to die?" They did it multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, they did it in the motel or whatever that house was, where again I was like, even though the fight was over with the newly converted T-800s, I was like, like the whole time I was worried. I'm like, they're gonna get bit. Even after it was over, there's still that, oh no, I didn't notice I have this bite. I was just on my edge of my seat. I'm just like, is it gonna happen? Like, what's up? So you're right. I think they did a great job of making me worry.
Which is funny because like, the thing is that the first movie definitely felt spookier at times.
Yeah.
But that was also because it's like an introduction to the world.
And also, all the characters were by themselves.
At one point.
It made you feel isolated. Especially with Jesse Eisenberg. I remember
in the opening.
Yeah, watching him run away from the zombie and like dropping his keys and then running around the car to get back in. And then even him when he goes to the bathroom, because all of these rules he came up with because bad shit happened to him.
Yeah.
Even when he goes to the bathroom and the zombie's like, he's like fighting for his life all by himself.
Yeah, and this one there was a lot. It was kind of like, you know what, our characters are pretty well developed. They're connected, and it was more about their stories as
a family unit,
as a family.
Yeah. Which is funny because go ahead.
Hilarious part is when he goes, "Ah, shit, teamwork. I don't know why I didn't add that to my list."
Yeah, that was great.
Because he made all the rules when he was by himself.
Right.
And it's weird because he like definitely still follows like 80% of the rules. but he still didn't add new ones like teamwork.
Right.
Like, why didn't he just adjust that?
Put the
to the
team
list
first.
Wow.
You guys want to get into your number ratings?
Before we get into that,
Yes.
I want to talk about
Sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things, all the bad things. Let's talk about.
What I want to talk about was just going back to the Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
I legitimately, they like just like when they showed it in Shaun of the Dead, I was like, there's got to be no way they're not going to use the gun. When are they going to get to the gun scene? Like, they showed the gun, they have to use the gun. Which, by the way, if you don't remember, in Shaun of the Dead, they go to the pub, and the pub literally has a shotgun, like all the time, just hanging on the wall.
Leave it to hippies to not believe in the pat down.
Literally when I saw this that happening, I'm like, they just didn't check.
I'm just gonna believe
for another gun.
Whatever you say.
Your word is all I need.
Yeah. In
also
TI-double-GER-IT.
Also, bullet counting was relevant.
It's like they made the movie for you.
Yeah,
they're like, this guy's gonna count the bullets. I know.
This guy's gonna count the bullets. I counted the bullets, by the way, and the only one that is the only one that is plausible and not confirmed is Emma Stone's assault rifle. That's literally the only one that you can stretch, because it's hard to realistically be like, oh yeah, I've definitely seen and I've read and I've heard about extended mags. No, that thing is 2 different drum mags, hefty boys into the fucking feed, and but at least she was trigger disciplined. That was a lot of really.
By the way, Patty's favorite type of gun on Call of Duty World War II. That's her shit right there. Which is weird because you're kind of slow with it.
With the assault rifle with a drum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but
she's still like a beast as she kills me. But anyway, that was a fun tangent.
Yeah.
I would like to give this movie. Oh man,
I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. This is a masterpiece, especially in zombie movies. When I think of zombie films, this has to be on your list, along with the first one, along with Shaun of the Dead. Yeah.
I would give this a 9 out of 10. And I think it's because of my own bias. I'm not a zombie film movie or fan.
I can't see you watching a zombie film.
I'm not into it.
Yeah. They're pretty gross.
I don't want to watch it again, which usually when I'm doing 8 or above, I want to watch it again. I don't necessarily want to watch it again right now,
yeah,
but
tonight.
It was a great movie. I enjoyed it. I laughed. I was on the edge of my seat, and I love the characters, so highly recommend it. And it would probably be a 10 out of 10 if you're into zombie films.
I never give 10 out of 10s. We already know that. So this is actually a 9 out of 10 still, because ultimately, it depends on what you want out of what you think zombies are, right? The Walking Dead is such a drama-fueled, character-driven story for a different reason. And in my personal opinion, the brilliance of Zombieland, the brilliance of Zombieland 2, the brilliance of Shaun of the Dead, the brilliance of even Ash vs. Evil Dead are all soaked in really weird, random, somehow somebody scripted this, but this is really natural feeling of what the fuck just happened. And in Zombieland's way of doing this, especially in the second film, was what? Wait, they evolved, and then also we've been talking about, it's a character driven story. This is second movie is we're a family unit and we fucked up. Shit.
Yeah.
like, well, what? Like, I don't want to go back to being the lone dog. Well, I mean, you know what? 5 years of this shit, we're family now.
Woody Harrelson put on such a good fucking performance in this movie.
He was hilarious.
He was great.
He definitely felt in this movie, in a good way, typecasted into being an old man dad.
Funny side note, you know how they were joking constantly about vegans?
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson is a vegan.
That's great.
Everything he eats on the film, a person has to make it vegan.
That's so great.
Like in Zombieland, I found out that the Twinkies that he ate were remade as vegan Twinkies.
That's great.
Because Twinkies aren't vegan.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's fucking cool. And that's a great side fact because he gives so much shit to AKA, or quote unquote Berkeley for being such a hippie.
But like that was part of the overall joke is like in real life, Woody Harrelson's kind of a fucking hippie.
Yeah.
Like
he's like barefooted, fucking hemp pants in a bank making a deposit.
Like this, like fuck Berkeley. That character was so well done because that's a real stereotype and I hated it the whole time. I was literally upset with this person the whole time, which means it was done well.
Yeah, but you know what's so funny? Like, again, I want to give a nod to Madison is that she was a fucking an old stereotype. She was like a white chicks movie, Marlon Wayne's like stereotype. But why did I like that character so much?
She was just so funny.
Why was she like
her comedic timing was impeccable?
She was beautiful. Yeah, like and that's the thing. Like the difference between Berkeley's that stereotype character and Madison was that I don't know. She just nailed it.
I feel like they were aware of that though. Like that was the purpose was to make Berkeley like just because we didn't resonate with the jokes of the Berkeley hippie doesn't mean that they weren't funny or stereotypical jokes.
I'm Madison.
I didn't want Madison to die. I didn't either. I didn't care if Berkeley died.
See?
Yeah. He could have died and I would have been fine. But if Madison died, I would have been sad. I didn't want her to die.
Spoiler alert. Called that nut allergy. Because she got bit on the shoe and I didn't think it penetrated.
I didn't think so either, but the way she was, and then the way they showed
the
her,
way they showed
the shot, I was like, okay, maybe she must have got bitten through the shoe then.
Right, but I was just like, no, she's dumb enough to be straight up eating almonds and trail mix that she doesn't know she has a fucking nut allergy. So,
because at what point in her supposedly regular life being in Zombieland for 5 or 8, I think it was like 5 or 10 years,
something like that.
So
yeah.
Like Zombieland's been a thing for a while in Zombieland storyline. Like the point being that like she just lived in a fucking freezer eating cold ass pizza. Like who knows what
She looked everywhere. She couldn't find the switch. She couldn't turn it off.
But like
so great.
Like ultimately, like that's the thing though. Like the joke of Berkeley, we didn't care that character died. The joke of Madison was like, oh no,
we just loved her.
Please. Like, and the comedic timing was something so natural because like we would ironically be doing that kind of shit.
I think literally what we just witnessed was just the caliber of acting ability, the difference. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you get on a basketball team. Oh, Alex is doing the basketball reference. What the fuck? I'm gonna do it anyway and relax about it.
Oh God, Alex is doing a reference. It's like Junior doing freaking game reference.
When you get on a team and they tell you your role, you can either just completely be that role, or you can make that role something to fit who you are as a player. I feel like she did that. She's like, okay, here's this role that we want you to play. And she's just like, nah, bitch, I'm gonna take it an extra level and make it my own. And she did. She was just great. So, what the fuck moments, guys?
Flagstaff.
Flagstaff.
I was not expecting Flagstaff or Florida to just be characters. And when they showed up on screen, I was like, there's no way they're gonna live. We can't have a huge ass party. Literally, that my brain was like, okay, so oh no, she's gonna do an RPG reference, game references. Like the party was originally 4 people, and then it got shrunk down to 3 people because our beautiful daughter is off on her own adventure, trying to find out who she is and what it means to be part of a family. So now we have to go save her. What's that? We ran into 3 other characters. We can't do party swaps. Oh, one of them is not going to come into the party, and the other 2 died.
Yep.
Like, we'd never have to party swap.
Yep.
Which, by the way, brings me up to Madison being the 4th party member for like a good portion of the movie. That was amazing.
It was great. That whole awkwardness between her, Columbus, and Wichita was just like amazing. So
the whole awkwardness of just Emma Stone and sorry, Wichita.
Am I saying it right? Did I totally Mexican it up? Is it Wichita or Wichita?
Wichita.
Okay, yeah, I Mexicaned it up.
Yeah.
I really,
But
I
like,
really want them to make a TV series on like HBO or Showtime. I wouldn't mind watching these characters every week.
Yeah, they're pretty great, but they'd have to spend a lot of money because these some fucking big ballers.
Yeah.
Big baller actors.
But at the same time, you know, like it's in that particular instance, it would be more like writing, like just having good writers to do hilarious jokes or drop those sequences and scenes. Because there was a show called like Z Nation, and it's a very, very like relaxed, awkward, like baby amounts of drama for like zombie series. And there was just lots of weird shit going on in that show.
Like funny shit? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Like,
interesting.
I like the characters, but it was definitely more of a like, it's supposed to be funny and weird.
Zombieland 2's writing and pacing was very much like Rick and Morty, where no amount of space was ever wasted. Everything was necessary. I look at the film and there's nothing that I would cut.
I agree.
Same thing with the first movie.
Yeah, first one as well.
Like, there's nothing, because some of the punchlines were so long. Chekhov's gun, like literally, from the beginning of the movie all the way to the end of the movie for that like.
Yeah.
I saved my dad.
And we had a good audience.
Yeah, they were fun.
Oh yeah, they were fun.
Except for
the girls next to us.
they totally left.
I think they were like actual Madisons, and
They're like, I don't get why they're laughing.
like, I'm totally like this, and people are
Yeah.
laughing at us, and
I'm just gonna go.
yeah.
When
This
I
is
saw
not
them get
even
up and
funny.
leave, I was like, what?
I was like, did you not watch the first Zombieland? What were you expecting?
It's so gross. You know what, dude? Like, I want to give a tip of the hat to just this new generation of writers. Like, you know, whoever wrote this movie, the screenwriters for this, and I do want to.
He's gonna drop some names.
Dave Callahan. That's who wrote the screenplay, and Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. All those 3 were the people who contributed to writing this wonderful movie. And who else? Dan Harmon.
Wait, Dan Harmon wrote it?
No. I'm just talking this
okay.
new generation of people who are making shows. Tina Fey. Like, these people who write movies and shows that should, on paper or on the surface, be just a regular stereotypical movie, but they are not lazy and they don't just want to make things. They don't want to do things the easy way.
What's funny is that
They don't want to make the easy buck.
When you say generational, this is what came into my mind. Dan Harmon's 46.
Yeah,
but like
these guys
he
are
hasn't-
older.
But like he hasn't been like I'm trying to like look at how long he's been in the business.
Probably not more than
And-
10, 15 years.
It's just it's one of those things where it's like it's different to be part of a writing team versus leading a writing team or
Mhm.
having your name get dropped like that and stuff. Like John Mulaney. He was just a writer for SNL for so long, and then he's hosted SNL twice or 3 times or something.
Sure.
Like, you know,
Well, yeah.
he like jumped up and made it bigger.
It's this, yeah, and it's this new generation of writers that are kind of coming out, and they are just breaking the barrier of, you know, making an easy buck and writing, you know, stuff that's been done time and time again because they know it's a formula that's successful. Like, nah, let's push it. Let's come up with new ideas. And I think that these people need to continue to be supported and continue to write shit so that our movies can continue to move in an upward and improvement direction.
So you know how you mentioned Deadpool? Well, it's from the same writers.
Oh, this
Zombieland.
there you go. That's another great example.
They wrote the first Zombieland and they did so well. They wrote Deadpool, then they wrote Deadpool 2. They also wrote a bunch of like mediocre movies as well, but
You're gonna have those,
yeah.
right?
We can't. I mean, like look at Ang Lee.
Yeah,
Rotten Tomatoes hates Gemini Man.
they really do.
They really
but
do.
the audiences in the 90s. So ever since they did that thing to Dave Chappelle,
Which one?
he put out a new special with Dave Chappelle's latest special.
Mm-hmm.
What they did is they closed the polls to the regular audience, and then I think
Only had like their critical reviews of it.
and they put 0% on it.
Really,
Yeah.
for Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a big controversy.
That's why I don't follow Rotten Tomatoes.
That's
And
why
then-
when people tell me Rotten Tomatoes reviews, I'm like, what the
Don't.
That's worse. That's worse than some of IGN's reviews.
I like IMDb though.
IMDb is pretty fair.
Relatively fair.
Yeah.
You get lots of like the ones that like they didn't vibe with the film. You can straight up tell from the review like they weren't vibing with the film. So
Mhm. Yeah.
For the most part, I like to stick with Metacritic.
Hmm.
It's a strong average.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
All over the
Metacritic.
internet.
I haven't heard of that. I'm gonna start checking them out. Guys, anything else you guys wanted to add about Zombieland 2, Maleficent 2?
Go watch them.
I really liked
Yeah.
watching them in theaters. I think if you have any interest in either of them, you should just go watch it in theaters.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Any interest. If you don't have interest in it, then it's not your type of movie.
Yeah.
They're very niche movies.
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
I like.
You're either gonna like
Yeah.
it or you're not gonna like it.
If you
Yeah.
like Deadpool, go watch Zombieland 2.
Surprisingly, like Zombieland 2 is using those audience members who left up in the middle of the film. It was just straight up like either you like it or you don't. Either you knew what you were getting into or you didn't.
Mhm.
And in Zombieland 2's case, like even if you didn't understand some of the inside jokes that kind of carry over from all of the other like Zombieland 1, Deadpool 2, like those jokes still stand. Those are still well written, hilariously done, executed.
I think that I don't think it was the whole group of girls though, because like the girl who was sitting next to me, she was laughing a lot of the shit that we were laughing at. It's probably just one like bratty friend who is just like, I don't get. Let's go. I hate this. Like, and like she wouldn't stop complaining. They're just like, all right, fucking
Madison,
Maddie, let's go. But thank you so much for listening to us, guys. Keep an eye out for a special episode of the Desviado podcast where me and Patty do our first collaboration with a fantastic Spanish-speaking podcast called Más que un Trío. And it was a blast, guys. These guys are awesome gents, and we can't wait for you guys to listen to it. which you guys already did listen to it. It was this Wednesday, but if you haven't listened to it already, listen to our Wednesday release. But as for us, make sure you follow us at Hidden Shadows of the Secret Chamber on Facebook, HSTSC33 on Instagram and Twitter, which our boy Junior is now going to be taking the reins on that.
Yeah.
The last Halloween themed movie that we have scheduled is a special kung fu movie. We're gonna take it back to the old school and watch a classic kung fu movie that Nikonsi. I can't wait to see what you have in store for us.
Yeah, it's gonna fuck you up.
Side note, are there any Christmas kung fu movies?
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be
great. I got a plethora of kung fu movies.
I'm excited.
We kind of need a Christmas.
We totally do.
Also, we can't have like a Thanksgiving one because a lot of films are just family films.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'm not going to be able to get through it. Make sure you follow our boy Junior at twitch.tv/Cookie Ninja Carve.
I didn't say it this time.
And leave us comments. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, and we'll make sure we shout you guys out on the next podcast. Ask us questions. Give us a little mini review on the movie that we did, and we'd be happy to read it on the next episode. And share it with your friends if you think that they would like our podcast. For all of you who have been sharing the podcast, thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you. Anything else you guys want to add on there? Junebug? Kansi? Alex? No, I'm good. Thanks for asking.
Alex, did you want to add anything?
No. I just wanted to talk about space and time.